obviously model, like long limbs,
hello.
like just overall like beautiful, like definitely like very nice body.
No, very
Not so.
over here.
Back it up. Here's the thing though, is like picture yourself on a dating app. If you were someone swiping through an app and you were looking at people based off of a picture and you saw someone who was a wheelchair user, would you swipe?
Hell yeah. Bitch, you fine. What are you talking about? Who gives a about you being in a wheelchair? Like, you a bad bitch.
I'm not often seen as sexy in mainstream media as a disabled woman. There's not really a place yet for people like me to feel sexy.
We gotta stop pandering to disabled people. That's a person, a part of disability getting incorporated, you know what I'm saying? We're sick and tired of people always trying to gaslight the reality of people with these lived experiences. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I know people are gonna hate what I'm about to say, but most people will not date a person with a disability because they know dating someone that's disabled or has a disability comes with responsibility and baggage, and with those two things, you're gonna have to have more patience and better understanding of the struggle which most people do not have. You see, the majority of people like relationships to be 50-50, but depending on the severity of a person's disability, their relationship can be 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, 90-10, or sometimes even 100-0. And before someone says, well, I would date a disabled person as long as they treat me right.
Oh, shut up, bitch!
No, you wouldn't. You see people who say that don't see the reality of dating someone with a disability. They just see the person and they think they will be able to take care of themselves and not have an extra layer of responsibility of helping them out. But then once they go on one date with a person with a disability, the reality kicks in and most people realize that dating a person with a disability isn't for them. For example, the movie The Upside with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was the caretaker of Philip, a millionaire who was paralyzed from the neck down. He needed constant care because he can't move, obviously. Philip was able to go on a date with a woman, and since Philip can't feed himself, Kevin was going to be on the date as well. But the woman asked Kevin to leave, so he did. The day was going well. She was feeding Philip and even wiping his face with a napkin. But then when sauce hit his jacket and she realized he couldn't clean it himself, she instantly got turned over and told him dating him was not what she expected. Once she saw the sauce on his jacket, reality finally kicked in. Then she saw that she would have to bathe him, change his clothes, and even wipe his ass. See, dating someone that's paralyzed from the neck down is a relationship that's 100-0 because you're gonna have to do all of the physical labor in the relationship, which most people won't be able to do. Unless you fetishize disabled people, which you do, you're fucking weird. So about the women at the beginning of the video, you see, it kind of irritated me that women next to her try to pander to her, saying, oh, you a bad bitch, oh, you a queen, yes, queen. First of all, I don't care if you're a 10 out of 10, if you're in a wheelchair, you're an 8 out of 10 because of your legs. And second of all, I think saying that would work on a woman that is fat, and it still gets matches on Tinder, but it's not gonna work on a person in a wheelchair because their life experiences tell them otherwise. Because most likely, her Tinder matches are on 0. If her matches are not on 0, then most of the dudes match with her just want to see if they can hold her up by the hips while they hit it from the back. Also, dating someone who is in the wheelchair means that it will be harder to move in together. So you will either have to move to a place that is more wheelchair accessible, or make a lot of renovations to your house. Another example of dating a person with a disability can be dating someone with cerebral palsy. If you don't know what that is, basically having muscle weakness in either throughout your entire body or a few limbs. Someone with cerebral palsy can have the same issues that Philip had, not being able to feed themselves because their muscles are too weak. You see, Philip only had sauce on his jacket, but someone with cerebral palsy, it's gonna look like a baby eating spaghetti. And if you're on a first date and you see that, most men will lose interest on their dick, and most women's pussies will turn into the sub-Saharan desert if they were on a date with someone that looked like that. Let me give a shout out to all my deaf people, even though they can't hear me right now. But y'all struggle too, because in order to build a connection on the first date, you need to have a verbal conversation with them. And for deaf people, that's not possible. The deaf people have to learn sign language in order to have conversations, and and the majority of people don't know sign language. And here's the thing about dating a deaf person, right? Why should I learn sign language when I can just swipe right on someone else who can have a normal conversation in English? Hey, yo, shout out to King David on 90 Day Fiance because he is the king of Disability Game Incorporated, but also because he is deaf and admitted on the show that before he met Sheila, his life was very lonely. Hey, yo, shout out to all my Stevie Wonders out there, but I think most people would feel secondhand embarrassment walking around with someone with a walking cane. I mean, come on, some women get turned off by a man that wears black shoes with a brown belt. You think they're gonna be fine with you walking around with a cane? And some disabled people who know most people won't date them due to their disability will lie about the severity of their disability to see better results, but sadly that leaves them in the same place they were before. I've been only talking about people with physical disabilities, but people with mental disability struggle too. In my opinion, people with mental disabilities have it worse than people with physical disabilities. You see, I've heard multiple stories of people with mental disabilities getting into relationships and being taken advantage of by the significant other because they don't know any better. I've heard a story where this woman was dating a guy with autism, and she faked a pregnancy and convinced the guy to give her money for an abortion. She scammed that man. She scammed an autistic person out of $550 just to spend it on stupid shit, and also to brag to her friends that you got free money. Fucking disgraceful, man. Those actions are beyond me. Scamming an autistic person out of $550 just so you can brag to your friends like, oh yeah, I got this free money out of this nigga because he's stupid as hell. Yeah, like, yeah, that's stupid. Another story I've heard is another girl was dating another guy with autism, and she asked him to put gas in her car. So that is what he did. After he put gas in her car, she says to him that you put diesel gas in my car, and that she needed $800 to fix it. He gives her the $800. The guy told his parents about what happened. So his parents and him drove to the gas station where he put the diesel gas in his girl's car. And surprise, surprise, there was no diesel pump. These deviant actions on people with mental disabilities are crazy. Just because they don't know any better, people will take advantage of them, scam them out of their money just because they don't know any better. They don't even want to be with the person. They're just with them because they know they can take advantage of them. They can have full control over them. And you can watch a show like The Undateable or someone like Harold on Match Me Abroad on TLC that shows the struggle autistic people go through in dating. Even if you're okay dating someone with a disability, one thing that isn't talked about enough is that your family going to be okay with you dating a disabled person? Because I've heard people who are dating disabled people and their family and friends' response was like, why are you dating them? You can do so much better. You don't want to wipe their ass, do you? I just want to put that out there. There are people that see the reality of dating someone with a disability and won't hold back any punches if you date a disabled person. Now, if I told you all of that and your response is something along the lines of, why don't y'all just date each other then? First of all, you're right. Two autistic people can date each other. And the same goes for two deaf people. But I don't think two blind people want to struggle in life together. And the same goes with two people in the world, because how are they gonna fuck? This is a Family Guy, my nigga.
Oh, that feels so good.
Most people with disabilities need to be with someone who is an able-bodied person who can help their weaknesses, and help take care of them. I'm gonna say one last thing, and that is, please stop pandering to disabled people. We are not these fat bitches with fat all around their neck. Believing they are 10 out of 10s. Us here at Disability Game Incorporated, we know a lot of people would not date us.
Yes, Goofy, suck my dick. But he shot, matter of fact, work done, he be with the knob. So the caffeine and rap, you ain't spinning this block. So my name in the song, catch these bullets, they hot. How you gangsta and you tryna box? Get back for your man, say I caught him from shot. While you jacking my end, nigga, now my heart. Hop out, so bro, let's flop. Get it clicking, catch 32 shots, my pimp. That nigga a wreck, yeah, I heard he was snitching. I feel like the Yankees, my bullets, they pitching.